In terms of what we do now at SpotX, we are particularly interested in OTT and CTV. That's our specialty here. In terms of what's happening in the marketplace, that's a great synergy because a lot of political advertisers have really begun to understand the power of CTV and OTT, really meeting their voters, supporters, et cetera, where they are and when they're watching. So for this election cycle, this is really the election of OTT and CTV. Some of the things that have been happening this year regarding epidemic lockdowns, increased viewership has been occurring. Also, a lot more streaming platforms that are ad supported have been being developed and released for consumers. That's been really helping political advertisers understand the power of where they can reach their voters again. So, in terms of what we've been seeing this election, a lot more OTT and CTV interest, a lot more campaigns running. It is no longer just the bastion of when TV and traditional linear TV inventory runs out, people would run towards CTV. 2018, even nascent in 2016. This year, it is an integral part of everyone's plan. I think in terms of what we're doing here at SpotX, we're going to offer the gamut of all of our published to political advertisers and are really taking advantage of that. For political advertiser, it's been traditionally news publishers, news sites, news media owners that they're interested in working with, because that's really where the most interested voters will be. But in terms of where they need to reach their audience and their voters where they are, it could be on any publisher, no matter if it's going to be pure entertainment. Sports is very popular as well, particularly with some of the movement going on this year due to the pandemic again, and the change of calendars. You have a lot of interest in sports from their audience, and therefore they will follow them there. So it's no one particular vertical and no one particular publisher they're looking to work with. It's really using their data and using their information to find their voters where they are. In terms of how they gauge success, it could be a number of things. Ultimately, it's going to be winning. As you mentioned before, that's obvious. But in terms of what they're looking for on a short-term basis, they could go in league with the particular phase of a campaign. If it's awareness, if it's get out the vote, if it's fundraising and donations, that's something where those goals will change in terms of the phase they're in. So for CTV and OTT, we've seen a lot of interest in terms of awareness and get out the vote in particular. And it's really looking to hit as many people as possible, as many of their supporters as possible, as many of their voters as possible in a timely manner. And that's something where that's the general goal for campaigns. Again, if it's fundraising, it's going to be a bit different in terms of a return on investment. But what we do in CTV and OTT, it's more tuned towards a broad reach and scale. This year in 2020 has been interesting for everyone. It's been a heck of a year. In terms of what that means for advertisers, we've seen a lot of interest from advertisers in working with CTV and OTT because it's a growing medium. With the pandemic lockdowns, a lot of things going on around the country and around the world, a lot of people have been at home and taking advantage of the growing popularity of CTV and OTT generally. And again, a political advertiser would want to follow where their audience would be. That goes for every advertiser as well. So 2020 happens to be an election year as well. So those things really synergize in terms of the popularity and explosion in interest of OTT and CTV. As we move forward after the election, that interest will only grow. We begin to see nascent interest in 2018, but as we move forward in 2020, with the things that we just mentioned that have been going on, that will only grow and it will become an integral part of their campaigns. And as we've seen previously, it's really just been something that would correspond with their television and linear buys. Now it's going to become an integral part of their actual media buy from the very beginning. Interestingly enough, talking to our clients, we have seen some movement of budgets over to CTV and OTT. That's really just due to the fact that social media can be a video-heavy platform. And in terms of what we do at SpotX, working exclusively with video, particularly OTT and CTV, we've seen a significant investment there. It's actually been increased over 900% since April, going into September 2020. And it just really shows that things like social media, policies and things like that have been driving over advertisers to other video sources and other platforms such as CTV.